Gina,
Yes.
do you ever get annoyed by the music that they play in those shopping malls?
Only you lah. You're listening to...
Jom Sembang, Malaysia.
So right, just in case you guys didn't know, right, Juwita is easily, not annoyed lah, she's very sensitive to her surrounding. When you talk to her halfway, then she suddenly like, hey, that song I'm not even listening to the song. So that's how sensitive Juwita is, either to music or to every other sound
Two sounds.
around her.
Two sounds. I can hear, you know those TV last time, the box TV? I can hear sounds coming out of it, even when it's not on. And I'll be like, why is the TV making noise?
You sure it's not ADHD? My ADHD kids that I take care of, they can hear the aircon sound, then they annoy, then they go and throw a tantrum, and then I need to turn off the aircon and suddenly all peace again.
You can hear the...
Sensitive listening like you. Anyway, what about music that you're asking about?
So there are times, right, you walk into a mall. Let's say you are trying to have a conversation with somebody in a cafe, okay?
Okay.
And then they are playing music that is got singing one.
Okay.
Sometimes it's okay lah, it's pretty decent. And then what will happen to me? I'm sure you've experienced before, right?
Yeah, just what I just say like, if you're meeting with you, you're talking about some music that's at the background.
Or sometimes it's really horrible music, and then how am I supposed to sit there for the next half an hour? It's like torture a bit. So that's like cafe. And then you walk into a mall, and then sometimes they are playing instrumental music, which actually is like -1, but it's not. It's just looping. I don't know. I feel like I just want to get out of there. Does it happen to a lot of people? It's just me.
I guess it depends on your state of mind lah. When I go, right, if I'm too focused on trying to find something, I might not even notice the music. But
Really,
if I'm leisurely shopping or window shopping, then yes, I would notice the music. Especially if you go to a shopping mall, right?
Okay.
You have the normal music. Then you go into Jasco, another music. Then you come out, then you go to MPH, another music. Then you come out and you go in a Uniqlo, another music. Why?
I don't know. I think it's to set the vibe, the mood of the place. You know what I mean? Like, okay, if you walk into a Korean restaurant and then they playing like blues, jazz, then you'd be like, you expect to hear K-pop, right?
Correct. It's part of the branding lah.
Yeah, it's part of the branding lah.
But is it more than just branding lah, is what I'm thinking? Because our shopping habits have also changed after the whole pandemic thing. Everything is like before pandemic, during pandemic, post pandemic.
Yeah.
So after the pandemic, you find that our shopping or my shopping habits have changed to online and offline. Certain things I really have learned how to just buy online to save the trouble is one thing.
Okay.
Second thing is I could never find them in the shops anymore. Like last time, right, you know, right, okay, I want to buy shoelace. Okay. I go to Bata or something like that. Now you go Bata, sorry, we don't sell shoelace.
Yeah. Correct. And then you have to find the next shoe shop, and then it's like, the other corner, might as well just go online lah and buy.
Correct.
And play your own music in.
Yeah, something like that. But even online shopping now has music, what? They got when you're buying, let's say Shopee, right? Then you got the live streamer, right? And then they play music while they tell you about the product they're selling. So there is also the music when it comes to shopping online lah. It's what I discovered recently.
Okay. So I have a question, right? Okay, this is how sensitive I am to audio lah. Shopee. I think if you hear this melody, ding, 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 something like that, right? Ding, ding, ding. And then, right, I think it's when you're watering your plant there.
Okay.
Ding, 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 ding. There's that song, okay? That goes. And then, right, at the end, right, it doesn't look properly at the end, right? It just continues back into the beginning, like, suddenly, like, oops.
I'm surprised it annoys you, but I don't remember it because I muted it from the start.
Okay, so it annoys me, number one. But every time I hear that, I think Shopee.
Okay,
so recently, the lift in my condo, suddenly they install those adverts. You know those LED panels?
Screen. Okay.
Yeah, those LED screens that runs from, I don't know what time lah, 9 to 9 or 7 to 7 or something like that. So there's another ad, and this one is not Shopee, okay? It's like some food ad. And they're using the same song. So I'm thinking, maybe it's like stock music lah. Or then after that I'm wondering, are they purposely using the Shopee song so that when I look at that ad, I think, let's go and buy the thing on Shopee. I don't know. Do you think it's on purpose, or do you think it's like by accident? Or how much do companies actually put in when they're thinking about these kind of things? Or is it just because it's free, or whoever happened to do it and they didn't realize it's the same as Shopee? I don't know.
You don't know that. I also don't know. Then we just ask our guests after the break.
Okay. This episode is brought to you by 2105 Productions. Now, if you're looking for a place to do podcasts like us, call JD, look them up on, they're everywhere. Twitter, Facebook,
Yeah, but you must say
Instagram.
21:05. 21:05. That's what you should be searching for.
Yeah. In the house today, we have with us Dr. Joanne Yeoh. No need full name lah.
Yeah, but if you ask me, right, one will wonder why are you talking about shopping and music and then suddenly you bring Joanne Yeoh in.
Okay, first I must introduce properly lah. Dr. Joanne Yeoh is very well known for her violin skills. Okay, so when she plays violin, right, I feel like two things lah. The first thing that's like, I should pick up my violin again, and then the second thought after that, but I'm never gonna sound as good as her, so why bother? That's how good she is. Number two, she's always well known for looking really amazing when she comes on stage, right? So it's like, you imagine, right, violin is not just like.
So you're thinking where she get all her dresses lah. Then we just ask her lah.
Okay. Where she shops for it, right? Okay, but why we're asking her, right? It's like one day I discovered her, is it PhD or doctorate? Actually, I can't tell what's the difference.
PhD is a doctorate degree.
Oh, okay, there you go. Was on something to do with music and shopping. So yes, Joanne. First, everybody welcome her! Okay, tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right. Thanks, Juita and Gina, for the invitation to come here to do this. Tell a little bit about myself or a bit about my degree, which is, I think, is your
about yourself
point
first
of interest.
Little bit lah.
Okay. So I did music since I was young, and please don't ask me how many years ago.
Okay.
So I did a performance degree in my bachelor's and in my master's, and in my PhD, I decided to do a more research-based kind of degree.
Okay, so you decided not to do a research on how to play better lah?
No.
Okay.
I decided to do a research on music and shopping, so to speak, or music and consumer behavior, because I was really interested in how, as you mentioned previously, Juita, that music is being played everywhere.
Yeah.
And sometimes people don't realize it, and it subconsciously influences the way you behave. So I was very interested in that study.
Okay.
And that's why I pursued it.
Okay,
backtrack a bit.
It's not a backtrack.
So are you a shopper or active shopper?
No, I'm not an active shopper. No.
Okay.
Define active shopper.
I don't know lah. People that must go shopping once a week one lah. Whether they
Wow.
buy something or not, they go window shopping, look-see.
Oh,
or find
okay,
things
okay,
to
okay.
buy even though they don't need something,
Okay. Okay, so then, pursuant to that question, if you're not an active shopper, then how did this question even pop into your mind? It's like,
Correct. I would think that maybe she like music, then maybe she like shopping, then she put together, right?
No, I guess because when you go out anywhere, even in restaurants, you would realize that there's actually music playing, but you may not know how it influences you or why do they put certain music on. And prior to taking up this study in PhD, I actually read a few articles about it. And I followed this, who would eventually be my supervisor. I followed his books and his journal papers to investigate more or to understand more how music actually influences us.
So it's really out of a curiosity.
Yes, it was out of curiosity. Yes.
Now I'm curious. How does music influence us? I know that in some way, it's generally speaking, music influences us lah.
Yeah.
But exactly how is quite an interesting question.
Okay, so how do you get started?
How I got started? So I wouldn't say I went and followed him or whatever, but yeah, I checked out his papers and then I emailed him and I asked if he would be okay to be my supervisor for this PhD topic, if I wanted to pursue a PhD in this area. And he was very kind and willing to say yes, and that's how I got started on it. Yeah.
Okay. So how does it go with you list the 5 top ways that music influences the shopper or macam mana?
Well, because I'm speaking from what I did before previously. So I sat down with him and we sort of discussed, had a long talk about what has not been done yet.
PhD must be not done ma.
You have to find
correct,
the gap in research, basically the gap, what has not been done. So he would tell me so these are the things that we have not discovered.
Okay.
And that's how we came about with this topic. So the big topic for my PhD is the effects of musical fit. Musical fit refers to music congruency.
Wow.
Should I go on or?
Okay. Musical fit, musical congruency means.
For example, it means if I play classical music, you would assume that it's expensive, it's luxurious. So you would assume a product like jewelry, for example, is associated with classical music. So that's music congruency or musical fit.
Come share 3 more other examples that I can relate to. Luxury product, I cannot relate. Cannot afford yet.
So maybe something like for young people or like pop drinks like Coca-Cola or Pepsi, you wouldn't expect to hear classical music, right? So
something more active.
Something more active, something that would fit the brand better. So maybe pop music, lively music, that's musical fit lah, in short.
Okay, then supermarket
Supermarket, it depends on what kind of supermarkets, what are they selling.
Okay.
Depends on if, for example, if you're selling toiletries, these are utilitarian products, right?
Okay.
They're not hedonic products. Hedonic products are luxury products or expensive items. So if you're talking...
Hedonism sounds like a very bad thing.
Wow,
Like.
she's really learning a lot of words. Juwita left words, man. Now she's got to Google all day long.
I don't know, when I think hedonic is like the evil side. Actually, no lah. It's not. Okay.
Yeah, it's just expensive, luxurious, over the top kind of thing.
All right, okay.
Something you enjoy, pleasurable.
Okay.
So if it is, I just speak about utilitarian first, is like toothbrush or toothpaste, or toiletries, things that you will need to buy. Does music
Sounds
influence
like
you?
Okay.
Music, according to my research lah.
Okay.
And also, like sort of the broad research in general is that it does not really affect you as you shop for these things because you are going there with a single purpose. I need to get this. So
correct.
whatever music is playing, however fast or slow the music, it doesn't really bother you as a consumer.
Okay.
Whereas if you're going for hedonic products, which is pleasurable, then you like, then the music sort of like, because you take your time to look at luxury things. So then music would play an influence lah, a factor.
Okay, so right, if you study economics, right, there's this thing called price elasticity. It's like the price will affect whether you buy or don't buy. So is this one what? Music elasticity?
No, we don't term it as that lah. Basically, it's a musical fit lah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you go to a beauty care place, then they play the music to make you spend more on your facial, your beauty, your products, because expensive products. Correct.
If you're going to buy, I don't know, what would you say?
It depends again, because it's not one size fits all. For example, I just recently did a research on coffee, which is our favorite beverage among the three of us. So I did research on coffee and coffee houses. Okay. So there's this cafe I did a study in where we interviewed people basically.
Okay.
Without knowing that we are interviewing them about the music that was being played. Okay, because otherwise it'll be a bias, right?
Yeah,
There's
so
a
it's
bias for that.
Subconscious answering.
Yes, correct. So we realized that coffee can be both a utilitarian and also a hedonic aspect. Okay. For example, if you drink coffee Monday morning, you expect it to be utilitarian, right? You need to
wake up.
The coffee to you that time is not about pleasure. It's I want to do work.
Yeah.
A kickstart to the day lah. Yeah. So if you drink it, for example, in during weekends.
Okay.
Or if you are socializing with people and you drink coffee. That's a different way of looking at coffee, right? That's hedonic. So what we discovered was music. We played 3 different types of music. 2 different types, I think. One which is it's all instrumental because we don't want to have words to influence them to think certain things about whatever. Okay. So it's either fast music, slow music, and we found that it is not necessarily fast music for utilitarian use of the coffee would influence them to like the coffee. That means on weekdays we expect people to drink coffee because I need the kick lah.
Yeah.
Okay. And therefore we play the fast music because, it gives me that high tempo and all that. That's musical fit. But it does not work that way because they actually prefer the slower music because they actually want to think what they're doing. So if you play fast music, there's too much
distraction.
Too much data going on. So they will find it a bit irritating. So you will find that on weekdays when people listen to music in a coffee house, they prefer the slower tempo.
Okay.
Contrary to other findings.
Because the relaxing coffee. Weekday is the I drink to be hyper coffee.
So right, the music is not just to make you buy, but it's also how you actually enjoy it. Because obviously you're sitting down there If it was music in a supermarket and they're just buying the coffee, then maybe different lah.
Yeah.
But they are coming and drinking, and
Yeah.
what you want them to do is enjoy it so that they'll come back again. Right?
You also want them to sit longer so that they will spend more, possibly to buy whatever
Buy a
products
second
there.
coffee.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it really depends. But we also realize that music has to be congruent if you're in a cafe or in a restaurant, it has to be congruent to your settings. So if, for example, in that cafe, the setting was white, beige colours, wood furniture and all that. So it's warm kind of feeling.
Okay.
Yeah, so you wouldn't expect a high tempo music there because it does not match the surroundings.
The ambience,
Okay,
the
so
visual
the whole
ambience.
vibe of the place
Yes, so it's
is
not
like
just
calming.
music
So the
by
music
itself.
also calming lah.
So this is called sensory marketing. We're stepping into sensory marketing
Interesting.
to attract the senses. Not just the coffee that you drink, whether it tastes nice or not. Not just the music, but also what you see around you. And now there's also
What you smell.
what you smell. Yes, that's right.
Wow.
There was a... Oh, should I continue?
Go. We are just absorbing all the information going like, wow.
There was a research done by, I think, Dunkin' Donuts, not here in US,
Okay.
where there's a bus stop and the Dunkin' Donuts shop is just next to the bus stop. All they had to do was make sure the smell of Dunkin' Donuts whiffed through the bus stand. People will go in and buy the Dunkin' Donuts.
It's like Famous Amos,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Free
yeah, I was
smells
about
here.
to-
Yes.
Kind of
Correct.
thing. You're like, oh.
So it's all sensory lah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Interesting. Sensory in terms of 5 senses lah. But we know most businesses do not think about sound. I find they don't lah. They just go in, just play some music lah. Spotify, turn on, next thing. There's no curation in terms of sound lah.
Which is why there are some stalls like stalls. See, I call it stall because it's so annoying. That you walk in and so this is a baju shop, okay? Not very high end, maybe low to medium end. But sometimes I go in like because, you with friends, okay, I go. And I already know that I hardly buy anything from there. But it's always the music that they're playing. Just bugs the life out of me. I feel like I can't wait to get out of there. But because my friends are still there, I'm like...
But then you're hypersensitive compared to normal people, so...
Okay lah, so it doesn't kacau lah the other people lah.
Yeah, I don't think so. But I can tell how much it kacau you because on a normal rate of maybe 10 incident, twice she will stop. This music and all lah. And then everybody in the group was focusing on the discussion or the conversation or whatever. Suddenly she just, this music cannot. Oh, suddenly she said, oh, this line very nice. And then everyone is like, what line? Because we are in the conversation.
Okay, but what you're saying
yours is more...
most people actually don't even notice what's being played.
That's right.
But there is
it's
power
influencing
in that.
your mind.
Correct.
Subconsciously, yeah. Also with music tempo, it depends on if you want to play a fast tempo music, you expect people to walk faster. There's a certain kind of rhythm, or depending on the outlets, what their aim is. If they want people to shop faster or have a high turnover in a restaurant, then they will play faster music.
Annoy Juita out, so she finish eating and go away.
But that also means I don't buy lah. It's like, no, as she was saying that, I'm suddenly wondering what they play in like Singapore MRT stations. As everyone's walking so fast.
But it's almost called music science lah.
It is music science, isn't it?
Yes, it is science because it's research and there's data for it to prove.
So the next time I open a shop, I must call Joanne, come say, come recommend some music for the purpose that I want to achieve.
No, I am thinking what kind of music we can produce to make sure that they get played in the cafes so that we get more royalties. So have you used that for your music creation? Like, do you think about that when you create
but
your
her music
album?
quite happening. If I go cafe, I
very fast, right?
Yeah, no, I haven't thought about that for cafes or restaurants lah. Because, in Malaysia, as you rightly said, people play whatever music they feel they like. So to them, it does not matter who their customers are or the purpose of the music that's being played. So I don't think in Malaysia there is such a high awareness at the moment.
So do you do consultation? Like if
nobody
I was
has
opening a
asked
cafe-
me.
Really?
Okay, everyone who's out there listening, if you're a business owner, you know what to do lah. Go ahead and kacau Joanne Yeoh on her social media. So actually, right, when talk about music, I'm curious. Music for me has two kinds. One is the, no storytelling one. No go climax, come back. No journey lah. A bit more like a loopable music kind of thing. And there's one that is totally storytelling, which is like what Joanne has on her album, like go up, go down, emotional one. What kind of music would you recommend when it comes to, let's say, a cafe outlet? For me, the question would be, does storytelling music work better in terms of influencing our behavior or a non-storytelling songs?
Ask the storyteller.
Yeah, storyteller must know the answer to story things.
It depends what you want from your customer and who your target audience is. It also depends, like I said just now, on the setting of your cafe. If it's very brightly lit, bright colors, then you expect a bit more lively, spirited songs. If it's more muted colors, then you expect muted music.
Interesting.
If I were to answer that question,
okay,
I noticed that the ones that annoy me are the ones that are going nowhere. So I don't know whether, again, it's because I'm skewed to listening to
I think
music per se.
different. Maybe musician got different thinking
Maybe
and
lah.
non-musician don't have.
No, but
we just want something that's loopable and does not distract me from what I'm doing in the place.
True, but you see, right, if you're listening to something that just loops, like literally doesn't go anywhere, and even if you're not listening to it, don't you think you are feeling like you're also not going anywhere? Because I always say, right, music brings you to some emotional place, right? It gives you pleasure, or it feels like, I'm going somewhere lah. So I'm sitting at a cafe, I'm drinking coffee, and I'm hearing something that just loops and loops and loops. Either I will get frustrated after a while and not know why if I'm not actually listening. I'm just like, of course, this is not research based. Or it might maybe get me into a lull lah, like hypnosis like that. Like,
so in a way, it also depends on what the customer try to achieve lah. I mean, some people go to cafe to not think about things. Some people go to cafe to listen to music to get hype up, to get energetic.
Inspiration or feel good.
Correct.
Okay, so for example, right, for me, massage. Just like you mentioned, if you were getting like massage things, you were buying the aromatherapy things, then it's different. But if I was in a massage parlor and I'm like lying down there and they're playing looping stuff, actually it might be quite good because I just get into that lull, relax.
Yeah.
But even then, it can't be for like 1.5 hours. Now, after a while, it would change.
Waterfall.
Yeah, I think I will go mad also.
Now I go river.
So normally I notice that, and again, I don't know, like sometimes when I do facial, obviously I'm listening to the music. What else are you going to listen to, right? Then I notice, actually there's like kind of I don't know whether they are given that kind of
length
thing to play in that 1.5 hours. Like maybe it starts with a relaxing thing and then it goes to somewhere and then it sends you out like, okay, we're done. You can go now. I don't know.
That would be a very specialized, catered purpose.
I wonder if like it's like a franchise thing, right? It's like, wow, you're using my franchise. Then maybe I also give you the music for it. I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe no. But
not
you say in Malaysia.
No, for sure not in Malaysia. They just loop whatever they like.
Okay.
There's no attention to details.
Talking about coffee, because that was the most recent research I did.
Yeah.
There's a cafe actually in Japan that allows customers to choose music while they drink coffee.
How?
This is very specific. There is this earphones, and then you choose from a set of list of songs or whatever, and then you just choose and curate your own list, what you want to listen to when you drink the coffee. Wow. So now there is such things already.
How does that even work? I bring my phone, I can curate on my phone.
Because that was part of a research lah. So maybe they just wanted to see if people would actually bother to want to curate a list while they drink coffee or not. And so the results were that when people were drinking for utilitarian, they don't bother at all. Whatever. They don't press anything from the jukebox. Whereas when people were, with friends and all that, then they would go and press and then go and listen together. They would experiment.
Different purpose.
Again, it comes back to what's your purpose, lah. That's right.
That's interesting.
So back to just now, before Joanne came on, was talking about live streaming and shopping, right? Mm-hmm. So like live streaming, I've gone through some live streamers that actually do not really talk one. They play some music and then they just do miming and they write. For example, they show you, this is the cup. They just show, they don't talk. And then there is blurbs that says, available in 3 colors, 3 sizes or whatever like that.
Okay.
But there's no talking intentionally and there's some music going on.
Okay.
And I'm wondering, right, whether that is something that was on purpose or not lah. But I find those kind of ad has more sales than the live streamer will say, kain ini. This cup is green, blue, red, and then you can pour hot water. And all this talking part, right, I find that people don't buy in terms of sales level lah.
Because got a bit of a annoying level there, is it? Somebody.
But they're still watching. So I'm a bit like curious about stuff like that. It's because I find it's very closely related to silent vlog. Back during the pandemic, right, when people are stuck at home, they start to do all this video logging, right? But most video logging, our first perception is you must talk to the camera lah.
Yeah.
Like, hello, today is my Monday, I'm cooking something. But during the pandemic came out was a lot of silent vlog where they are doing it, but they just put subtitles.
Okay. No music.
Correct. So after the pandemic comes this bunch of sellers online that sell things without talking and just playing music, which I thought like, how is it that they get more viewers and more listeners or purchase compared to regular salesmen lah?
Don't know, Doc, any thoughts?
No, I've not done that research yet. Although there are a lot of research on online music because online shopping is very popular now.
Correct.
There are a lot of studies on this already. What kind of music to put when you go into a website? What do you see? What kind of music plays? But I've not gone into that study because I'm still old school maybe. So yeah.
But have you purchased something, two of you here, have you purchased something because of music that you listen to in a shop? Consciously lah.
I wouldn't know.
Like,
yeah, you wouldn't know.
So that's how it works. It's just a subconscious thing.
Yeah.
I know when I have left the shop because of the music, but
So you remember bad memories and not the smooth memories?
No, I do remember the places that it's like, wow, yeah. I actually like walking here because of what I'm hearing. I can't remember where lah. But in that moment, I do know that I'm staying because the music is a good fit. Whether it makes me buy or not is different. But then my shopping habit is very different from other people. So
that's also true.
Yeah.
But I know there's certain cafes I go back because I like the playlist.
Okay, so cafe. Just now you mentioned something about you played instrumental because you don't want to influence what they're thinking, right? So in general, for cafes, or in places where people gather, restaurants or people talk lah, instrumental or with singing one? Which is there a preference? Is there a finding?
I would say that K-pop is very famous now in cafes, especially where there are a lot of Chinese gathered, young Chinese.
This is in
crowd.
Malaysia lah?
In Malaysia, this is in Malaysia, yeah.
Okay.
I would say K-pop is quite popular. Whether there are lyrics used in general compared to instrumental music, I would say lyrics are only good when you are trying to sell something. For example, in advertisements, then lyrics really should match the product.
Yeah.
But in terms of sitting in a cafe or restaurants, it really depends on the mood that you want to create lah. So you also should choose music which is, you don't play heavy metal when you're in a cafe,
Yeah.
you know, that kind of thing. Or you can play slow
unless
pop.
depends on what kind of cafe lah. If it's like
I guess so.
But
Hard
what's
rock cafe.
interesting when you talk about like Korean songs, right?
Yeah.
They got lyrics, right?
Yeah.
But it's
But you
lyrics
don't
that we don't
understand,
understand.
mah?
So it's
Correct.
a different ball game altogether,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, correct. But it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
Okay, no, but my question is, I get easily distracted when it's a place that has music that has singing on it. Because the words are pulling me to different... Like if you're talking here and suddenly JD starts or Nicholas starts playing music with some with lyrics lah in it, right? I cannot focus already. So I'm just wondering, again, is that a general thing? How many people out there have that problem?
Not me.
Really? Or
I'm just wondering whether it's a musician thing. Because musicians have trained years. Like when I hang out so much with the band, then you all talk. Hey, just now that line nice. This does not happen with any of my non-musician
okay,
friends.
so you can sit in a cafe and have a decent... Like when you say it doesn't matter, or... Yeah, I wasn't sure whether you meant it doesn't matter whether you have or don't have, or whether it's like you shouldn't have lyrics, or... Yeah, because, I would get distracted. If I'm talking about chicken rice here and I hear that side talking about spaghetti aglio olio, then I'll be confused for a while because my brain is pulled in too many directions. So
Yeah, that's data overload. That's cognitive overload lah. So I guess it also depends on whether the volume is loud.
that's
It
true.
also depends whether you like the music or not, right?
That's true.
Yeah, so there are many factors that come into play. So it doesn't mean that playing songs with lyrics is bad. It's not. It depends. If you like the song, then you would definitely still listen and sit there and, enjoy it.
Yeah, I also depends whether it's like a place where, or what time, right? If people come and hang out with friends that time, or maybe different time slot. Actually, people just go alone and it's like, quiet. with them own self, and they can just enjoy the music kind of thing, I suppose.
So I'm curious, like, because Juita, like I said, we have a conversation halfway and she will say, just now, that one, out of pitch. Then you're like, huh? Does it happen to you as well? Because you're a musician.
Yes, I think this happens quite a lot when you go into lobbies of hotels and you have live bands playing, and sometimes there are singers and all that. Of course, we are sensitive to what's happening, but I try to put that examiner hat away.
Yeah, she's an examiner, okay? Worse than me, okay?
Yeah, otherwise life will be miserable.
Now I'm really curious because I really don't get it from my non-musician friends.
Okay.
They totally won't like, hey, that music suck, or that line wrong, or that pitch wrong, or the whatever lah. It's just
okay. But to be fair, if you say we are auditory sensitive, okay, you are visual sensitive. So, for example, if there was a fan here and a light behind, there was a fan here.
Okay.
She would be totally distracted because of the moving shadow, and I wouldn't even notice that there is that thing happening. But because you are visual,
okay, fair enough.
yeah, stuff like that lah.
Maybe.
Or like, what is that?
We should do a
colour?
research on, is it only musicians that have super ears or super awareness of what's happening in a song on a normal basis? Compared to everyone. I mean, we also listen to song what?
But maybe it affects you without you knowing why. It could be.
Maybe. Or that we don't pay that much attention to it.
I think naturally because you're not trained for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you're not trained to listen to things, then you wouldn't feel anything.
Okay lah, so shopping music does not work on musician lah.
No lah, it does.
They walk inside there. All they do is listen to all these things. They don't really like purpose defeated.
Yeah, you play the
already.
music too good, right? Then they'll be distracted by the music and not
too
actually
bad
buy
also they're
anything.
distracted, right?
But I think, since she said, right, that nobody is actually focusing on this in Malaysia, I would suggest seriously go and look her up and like, sorry, we're like plugging you for business, which you're not looking for.
Then my consultation.
Yeah, Malaysia needs a bit of an economic boost, so yeah, try and use music to influence your buyers.
Don't play the wrong music. That's what I would say.
Jom Sembang Malaysia is hosted by two Malaysians who are passionate about Malaysian stuff.
Stay tuned every week for a brand new Sembang session with Juita Suito and Gina Yeoh.
Today's episode is recorded at Studio 2105.
Remember to click like and subscribe for the brand new episode next week.